Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss a topic called acids, bases and salts. In this chapter we are going to discuss about the physical and chemical properties of the acids, bases and salts. Along with the uses also we are going to discuss in this chapter. Right? So let us go to the topic acids, bases and salts. So before going to the topic, please subscribe my channel eScience, and this channel is only created for the children who are feeling the difficulty in learning science. So we'll make them the science to be learned easily and to understand them easily. Okay, so let us discuss acids, bases and salts. Right? Acids. What are acids and how the acids are there? What are the physical properties of the acids? So that we are going to discuss now. Right? So acids are sour in taste. Acids are sour in taste. When you feel the taste, when you take the acid to taste, they like sour in taste, right? And they release H plus ions, and they release H plus ions when they dissolve in the water. That is, acids releases H plus ions when they dissolve in the water, and they changes blue litmus to red. They changes blue litmus into red litmus. Okay, and let us discuss acids are sour in taste, right? Acids are sour in taste. What that is mean? Can you say the examples? Yes, in our daily life also we can feel that. Tomatoes you take, lemons you take, oranges you take. So these are what? Fruits. The fruits are contains what? Organic acid they are containing, right? So like in a lemon, where we know that citric acid is there, in tomato there is oxalic acid is there. So acids are present in them, right? So that is, when you feel the taste, they are like sour in taste. Okay, that is, acids are sour in taste, and they release H plus ions when they dissolves in the water. That is, when the acids are dissolved in the water. Normally acids are like acids only, but when we are going to dissolve them in the water, they release H plus ions. They release H plus ions, right? And the acids, they changes the blue litmus into the red litmus, right? So they changes the blue litmus into the red litmus. What is that litmus? We'll discuss, right? So indicators are there, that indicators we'll discuss. Just to remember the point over there, acids changes blue litmus into the red litmus. Okay, right? And how many types of acids are there? There are a number of types of acids are there based on some criteria, right? Now here we will discuss about strong acids and weak acids. Strong acids and weak acids. Okay, what are strong acids and what are weak acids? Very simple. If a acid it contains more number of H plus ions, more number of H plus ions in a unit volume, that is called as strong acid. If the acid if it contains less number of H plus ions, here H plus ions are more and here H plus ions are will be less. If in the same content, if you take the same amount of acid, different acids we are taking the different acids, right? So if one of the acid contains more number of H plus ions, that acid is said to be strong acid. If the another acid is contain the less number of ions, that we call as weak acid, right? So that we can say it as here strong acid and weak acid, and examples are here H2SO4 sulfuric acid, HCl hydrochloric acid. Like that we can take number of examples, and here we will take CH3COOH, CH3COOH, acetic acid we are going to take. That is examples of the strong acid and weak acids, right? And one more type of acids also there, that is concentrated acids and diluted acids. Concentrated and diluted acids. What is mean by concentrated and what is mean by diluted, right? So just now we discussed when the acids dissolves in the water, they release H plus ions. That means generally acids we are going to dissolve in the water, right? So now if the acid content is more compared to water content, that means we are dissolving the acid in the water. When the acid is more compared to water, that is said to be strong concentrated acid. If the acid content is less compared to water, that means water content should be more. Water content should be more. That is said to be diluted acid. That is concentrated and diluted. We can make strong acids and weak acids into concentrated and diluted, but we cannot make the concentrated into strong and weak. Okay, so that is strong acids and weak acids, we can make them to concentrated and diluted. Okay, so that is what properties of the acids, right? So let us discuss the properties of the bases also once. Okay, so properties of bases. What are bases? How are the bases, right? So their acids are sour in taste, right? And here bases are soapy to touch. Here bases are soapy to touch, and they release OH minus ions. Acids release H plus ions. Bases release OH minus ions when they dissolve in the water. That OH minus ion we can call it as hydroxyl ion. We can call it as hydroxyl ion or hydroxide ion also we can call it as, right? That is bases release OH minus ions when they dissolve in the water, right? And the content, the base which is dissolved in the water, that content we can call it as alkaline. That dissolved content, that is base dissolves in the water, right? Just now we discussed, right? So that dissolved base, that base dissolves in the water, that content we call it as alkaline. We can call it as, alkaline. And here the bases changes blue litmus, that is red litmus into blue. The bases changes red litmus into blue litmus. Here acid changes blue litmus into red, and here bases changes red litmus into blue, opposite to each other, right? So here blue to red and here red to blue. Okay, that is acids and bases. So here also you can say like what, a strong base and a weak base also you can say same definitions, like, right? What are strong bases? Strong bases, the base which is having the more number of OH minus ions, that is called as strong base. And the base which contains less number of, the base which contains less number of OH minus ions, less number of OH minus ions is called as weak base. Here you can take the example NaOH, sodium hydroxide is a strong base, and a weak base we can take like ammonium hydroxide, we can take as a weak base. Examples like that we can take, right? So that is acids and bases, and they are what, properties of the acids and properties of the bases, right? And here we observed one thing, that acids changes blue litmus to red and bases changes red litmus to blue. What are this litmus? What are these litmus? That we need to discuss, right? So what is that litmus? That is, litmus is a indicator. Litmus is a indicator, right? So what is mean by indicator? Just now, generally we can say what is indicator? A representation, right? So we can indicate something by this, we can say generally, right? So that is indicator means what? Which is showing the result or which is showing something. Then what is that showing? That is, indicators are the substances. Indicators are the substances which show the change, whether in color or in a smell. That is, indicators are the substances, they can change the their color or their smell. That is, they show the some change, that they are called as indicators. And these indicators are of different types, like natural indicators, and synthetic indicators, like natural indicators and synthetic indicators. And natural indicators are of also different types, like we can use, just now we discussed, no? That is what, litmus. Litmus is a natural indicator which is a product of a plant. Lichen plants will be there, so from the lichen plants we can prepare the litmus indicator, right? Litmus is like a paper, but it comes from the plants, like as we know paper is preparing from the plant, right? So in the same way, litmus is a indicator, paper indicator, that we are getting from a plant called lichen we are getting. Okay, so that is what litmus is, a natural indicator, right? And you know what turmeric also a indicator, and the turmeric in acid, in acid it shows no change in color. The turmeric in acid shows no change in color, but when you take a base, the turmeric generally it is in yellow color, right? The turmeric it changes to red color, right? So see this bases, red litmus changes to blue. Here also you can take that litmus examples here, right? So acids changes blue litmus to red, and bases changes red litmus to blue. Here also you can write that. So already we have discussed, so I have not written here. And here see this turmeric, you know turmeric natural indicator, we know turmeric, right? So that the turmeric is a natural indicator that is generally in a yellow in color, that is generally yellow in the color. And the turmeric, when it is in the presence of acid, it is not showing any change, that means yellow color only will remains over there. And when you taking the base, that changes to red color, that means a change is there, right? So that is color change is there, that's what we discussed, right? Indicator means what? They show the changes whether in a color or in the smell, right? So they are the examples like what? Litmus and turmeric, right? And one more also is there. We know vanilla essence generally in shops they prepare ice creams, right? That is vanilla essence, right? So when you take the vanilla essence that is in the presence of acid, it increases the what smell, it increases the smell. Vanilla, it increases the smell, okay? And when in the base, it is decreases the smell, that is it is not showing the smell, you can say it is not showing the smell, that is vanilla is there. And one more is there, clove oil. You know cloves, generally we use for the Ayurvedic treatments, and for cooking purpose also we use, right? So that is clove oil. Clove oil also a indicator. In the acid, it increases the smell, that is it increases the smell. Clove oil in the presence of acid increases the smell, whereas in the base that is not showing any smell, okay? Now you will see this litmus and turmeric, they show the change in color, whereas this vanilla and this clove oil, they show the change in smell, okay? These indicators, which show the change in smell, these indicators are called as olfactory indicators. Okay, the indicators which show the change in smell, they are called as olfactory indicators, right? So there we are having the vanilla essence and clove oil are the indicators of olfactory indicators, okay? So these are what? Indicators of natural indicators. And we are having the synthetic indicators. Synthetic indicators means they are chemically they are prepared, okay? That we will discuss.